we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Mindful Merchants Live. You guys know who I am, Cali Reseller Luis, and you guys know my co-host over here, this guy right here, Louie, the Lone Star Pig.
The big troublemaker of YouTube that trying to cause all kinds of
man with the cowbell.
Don't get me started, bro. I'll bring that sucker out.
It's early.
Where'd that motherfucker go? All right, y'all.
And we got our guest
here.
today.
Guess who's here? Guess who's here?
Yep. Who do we
Hi,
got,
guys.
Formerly known as, I believe the name is now put to rest for a little while. It's on, I want to say it's just on the shelf somewhere. Who knows? It may sneak back. Everybody may have known him as Sir Flips a lot. This is Louis. I believe it's pronounced Moore the third.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
buddy.
Give us a little intro in a nutshell, Louis. Tell us about yourself, man.
Okay, first off, I want to say thank you guys for having me on your show. I really enjoy the show, and I actually do watch it.
We appreciate you, man. We love you.
Thank you for having me on there. My name is Louis Moore the third. I am a reseller. I am a content creator, and I do a couple of other things. And I just like to make money doing it my way and teach other people how they can do the exact same thing.
For real. That's it, man. You are the real deal, man, because I've been watching you for some time. I want to say I was on your first Instagram
live,
dude. And I was like, there's my boy. I love him. I'm like, and you're like, let me test this thing out. I don't know if it's working.
You were the first
let me get on there help. Exactly. I just wanted to be there. And I remember Derek popped on. What the hell's going on, guys?
Exactly.
It was just funny. But well, thank you. You know what? Luis and I have been like really talking about we gotta get him on quick, And we know this is an arduous thing. If people don't know this, Luis is in a different country and from the US, correct?
Yes. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. But when I was 18, I went to college for a year, couldn't afford it. Dropped out, then spent like a year just kind of doing whatever, and then decided to join the army. And when I joined the army, like the first month that I got into the army, they sent me to Germany, and then I ended up staying in Germany.
Okay. That's where my dad was stationed too. He was in the army, and I had this picture of him somewhere like he's standing outside of a tent, and this is during the Cold War era, 60s. He was in Nam, and then something happened where they said take him out, throw him to Germany, And man, he used to freeze his butt up in 8 feet of snow and stuff. It was crazy.
He was one of the first ones.
Yes, sir. Yes, he was. He was one of the first ones for that whole. You know what I'm talking about? The whole regime that gotta watch that wall. Talking about education and this and that. It's a whole different atmosphere than that now. And I remember when I was in Germany. I hear an echo.
I'm sorry.
Let me make sure. No, it may be me. It might. No,
that was actually me. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good. It's like when I hear myself, I like cringe. I'm like, oh God, my voice. But you know how the whole thing is. So how may I ask how long have you been living in Germany right now?
Somebody else asked me that like a couple of days ago, and I actually thought about it and said, damn, I've been here almost 12 years now. I got here in 2010. I was here in 2010 to 2013 with the army, and then from 2013 to now without the army.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a good block of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
12 years is that's a chunk of your life, and
it really is.
So you're fluent in German, correct?
I am very fluent in German. I can speak it. I can understand it, but I still have this very thick American accent. So it happens. Yeah. It's very rare that somebody can't understand me, but it still can happen. But I can speak in.
They know you from Yeah. He's from America.
Right,
it's
they can tell right the minute I speak that he's not actually German or he's not from here.
So what I was going to ask you about that was. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff, and I've been watching you, and it's been good getting to know you here and there, talking to you on the chats once in a while. You're always very formal, and you come up, and it's but watching your train of thought, you're brilliant. You got this, this thing, dude. I'm not trying to blow smoke out your butt, but it's you got a lot going on, and I'm I admire that. I actually am, lazy as can be, and I want to get to that point, but you already got your plan. I noticed you're a goal person, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you think a lot of that comes out of the Army?
I think the way I structure it comes from the Army, but I think that actual drive that I have to want to do multiple things and to make things and to build things, I think that just comes from a mixture of my father and just from the person and just from the person that I am.
So that's good to know. That's a very good thing. I think to me, that's one of the keys in business is just know who you are, know where know where you're coming from, know what you're about, know what you want to do. Remember your whys, kind of thing. Luis, what do you got for him? I know you got a basic question. Let's start this ball here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my first question to you, Luis, is so what got you motivated to start reselling? What was your motivation for that?
I'm not sure if we would call it motivation, but after I got out of the Army, I did the regular 9-to-5 job, and I was working, but I didn't have an education in Germany. I had my college degree because I got it while I was in the Army, but that did nothing for like the German economy. Like they didn't care about that at all. So I did regular. Yeah, so I did regular jobs like working in a restaurant, driving trucks, doing that type of things, and then I end up deciding that I didn't want to do that, and I end up getting a certification to become a security guard because that's what you need here, and I did that for like 3 years, and I was working 12-hour days, 4 to 5 days a week. But at the end of the month, when I got paid, I was barely making it. So like, if anything,
you were still getting by then.
Exactly. So if anything bad happened, I wasn't able to afford it, which my car broke down. So I had to buy a new car, and that just threw me all the way back with like rent and bills and things like that. So I got to a point to where I wasn't able to afford life, but my mind frame was different. I was still buying sneakers and clothes and doing all that type of things. So I had like 60 pair of shoes.
Okay.
And my girlfriend at the time was like, yo, you have all these shoes. How about you sell some of these shoes to get some money? And that's how I got into it, because I looked up how to sell shoes on eBay, and I found some people, and then I started selling shoes on eBay, and I seen how fast they were going. Like I was selling like 2 or 3 pair of shoes a day for like a good 2 weeks.
Kicks be going like boom.
Exactly. And then once the shoes were gone, I didn't have any more inventory, but I had all this knowledge, and I saw, like, I had proof of concept. I knew that it was working, and it just kind of piqued my interest that I can do this.
You saw that expediency. Exactly. You saw that it doesn't matter what you're selling, but I'm sure you're like your wheels were turning and going, But isn't it kind of funny how, like, be it that it was your girlfriend, but I've heard the same story from other resellers, like family and stuff like that. I go, why don't you get off your butt and go sell this or do this?
Exactly.
That urgency of reminder. But did you have kids at the time too when this is all going down?
Yes, I had 3 of my kids, and I had just got divorced, so that was a whole different thing too.
So you had pressure on pressure in a way that was like, okay, let's make it happen.
I had my regular bills that I could kind of finesse to like kind of make, but then I had those like child support and like things I had to be able to pay every month, and so I just had to do it.
And that's remarkable, because that kind of comes back to like what Luis's question, like, how did you get to that? What did you start doing? But when you were in Detroit, did you ever did you ever have a derivative, like with something that, that kind of like had that same kind of train of thought about whether it was a hustle or just, reselling something or flipping?
Definitely from my father. From like a young age, my father, he always had some type of business, whether he owned his own cab or he had a landscaping business or he had his own tow truck. He was always doing something, so that was always there. And even like I remember being like at the age of 8, being the kid in school selling bags of candy. Like I would go to the store and buy them big lots, and then be at home with the little sandwich bags, making them smaller. Then I got to high school when like Napster and came out, and I was making mix CDs. And then even like in the Army, like I always had, like I had a graphic design business or like things like that. Like I've always had something that I was doing on the side, but I never had that. Like it was never a necessity to actually put forth all the effort into it. So I just always let it slide to the back.
Okay. But that's good that you had the insight that there was like this capability that you own your own business, run your own thing, so you're the boss.
Right.
That's a pretty good, outtake, and a start for like anybody that wants to kind of get into business, but let alone be their own, boss, and especially resellers. I think that's kind of why we're in that little setup. We're in that little bubble. Real quick, Luis, we're gonna just say hi to a few folks, and let's give some hellos. Luis, who's our first one up on the screen?
We got Jules. Hello, Jules. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Got a little heart and a hand wave saying hello, everybody. Oh,
hello, Wendy. Wendy. Hi, hello.
Oh, look who's here, Miss Troublemaker herself.
Hey, Ella.
Hi, Ella.
Don't make me sing that song again, Ella. So she was on my live the other day. She's like, Louis, you're driving me crazy, Louis. Oh God, it was so funny. She came on.
They kept playing that Rihanna song, the one that said Ella.
Ella.
Oh, Rihanna, yeah.
She's like, shut up. Oh, none other than eBay Addicts. Jeff is here. Here we go.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Speaking of troublemakers, let's go. And here we go. There he is. There. You know this guy that's sitting there?
Oh, yeah, I think I know him. I think we do a live together. I'm not really sure though.
Okay, next let's go to somebody a little bit more palatable.
Hello, Regina.
Hey, Regina.
Miss Regina. I love her. And you know what I love about her? But she ticks me off too. She be cooking on her videos and stuff. This is so good. I'm like, damn it, I want some food. It's like, well, thank you all for joining us. Let's jump back in this. So like, I remember one of the first times I saw you, Louis. I remember you were talking about a little bit. Yeah, you know what? It may have been just you and I where we're talking on Instagram or something, like wherever it was on a live. You were talking about, and tell me if it was that security job or was it the army job where you used to sit in some kind of booth and they would not allow technology. So basically, you had to check in your phone, I want to say, and you did a lot of reading, correct? At that time,
that was. I worked two different security jobs, and the first security job I worked, it was actually for the Army. So we were doing security for the Army, and nice. You were not allowed to have any technology. You couldn't even listen to the radio. And I actually had to hide the fact that I was reading a book, because their thing was that you were supposed to be paying attention to your surroundings. Yes. And not doing anything else. So I wasn't able to use my phone, but I could kind of hide reading. So I read in that year, I read 35 books.
Love it. Wow, that's a lot of books. Yeah, that beat my record. Let me tell you. I did Wells Fargo security for a little bit. Did you ever do security, Luis?
No. The only thing I've done, I've helped out a couple of friends and my cousin that plays in the band to be a bouncer. So
I was going to say
up to that point, but not security guard stuff.
That aside from defending your family and throwing people over cars, let's not go there. That's an inside joke.
Throwing people with one hand, with one arm, just tossing them over the car. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
We'll tell you about that later, Louis.
Okay.
So let me ask you some questions here.
Yes, sir.
The whole thing about, so now we get it. You're in Germany. You're there. You got your family. You're back on top. You did some security job working and stuff like that. All of a sudden, you were doing you were selling some kicks and whatever you can find. Correct. What did you do next? What was the next move where you said, okay, how do I make this work? What's gonna do to level up? What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Before I started reselling, I had started my first blog, but that blog had took a whole year before I actually saw $1 of profit. So in that time that I was still blogging, that's when I started to resell. But after my shoes had got done, after I had sold out of all the shoes that I wanted to sell, my blog started to make some money. So I was able to take, it was making $500 a month or something, but that was money that I really didn't need. So I was able to take that money and go buy new inventory to sell on eBay. But the problem was that I was watching a lot of eBay sellers or resellers, and they were in the States. And in the States and in Germany, the thrift scene is totally different. So I was going to these thrift shops looking for vintage T-shirts or more sneakers or video games. And Germans don't really have that in the thrift shop. So I had to kind of figure out what I can actually buy at those thrift shops to actually make money. And then I also I found retail arbitrage. I found that on YouTube, going through all the things. And then I figured out that I can go to the dollar store and buy books, DVDs, and toys there, and then make a lot more money on eBay. So I started to do retail arbitrage at the dollar store.
But the shift of the business becomes a little different. I mean, were you able to work that into the eBay aspect of the business, or did that eventually have to kind of shift into something like Amazon or something?
I forgot to say that. At that time, a friend of mine told me a friend of mine told me about Amazon, and I never knew that like it was actually like people like us selling things on Amazon. I always thought it was Amazon selling the products to the customer. So I did some more research on that, and I found out that the products at the dollar store sold much more on eBay, sold more on Amazon. So I end up kind of moving towards Amazon, and eBay kind of fell back into like the back lane, and I was focused more on Amazon.
But you didn't get rid of it completely, right?
No, I didn't get rid of it. Like at the time, I always said that Amazon was like my main platform. But if I got something, like I wouldn't pass up a sale. If I got something, or if I scanned something that I saw it didn't sell on Amazon, but I thought it was a good deal, I would just put it up on eBay. But I really wasn't focused in on eBay.
Well, yeah, and because like us as resellers, even if you are one leg or the other, like your A or whatever your platform is, doesn't matter. But like we get it that you can be more in a passive income kind of status with Amazon because you just depends. Like if you're FBA or if you guys don't know these acronyms, look it up. We'll talk about it.
Go to my channel.
I'm not going to spend our time like going over the vocabulary because Louis already knows that this is his business. But either you send it to Amazon or you sell it and you're the merchandise. But do you do any of that, by the way? Do you fulfill any of that?
I do Amazon FBA 100%. I tried to do Amazon FBM, but Amazon. Okay, in Germany, Amazon has a thing where you have to use their shipping platform, and they charge like 3 times the price. Like for a book, it would cost me like $8 to ship it with Amazon, where it would cost me $2 to ship it with eBay. So Amazon FBM just doesn't fit. Like it was cutting into too much of my profit. So I don't do Amazon FBM.
Okay, got it. Okay. That's man. Luis, you had something you and I were talking behind before Louis came in. You had something about Amazon. Did you say you want to ask, or was it about Amazon?
It was about Amazon. Yeah, I mean, so how are you liking? Do you do the Amazon FBA a lot? I mean, how do you like the whole?
Yeah, I like just like everybody else, I like sourcing. I like going out for the hunt and finding products. I like going out with nothing and then coming back with like tons of products. And then I also like with Amazon FBA that I can put the time up front, like making my shipment and then sending it off to an Amazon warehouse and then never having to worry about it again. I don't have to pack things. I don't have to ship things. I don't have to talk to customers. And then the money just comes in, which that's simpler. That's like making it simple. There's more to it.
Yeah, it is oversimplified. Yeah,
but I just like not having to worry about it.
Yeah, I totally hear you on that one. Yeah, I'm all about like the less work you got to do. Why should we have to? Technology can really, up and vamp it up and stuff. Let's go back a second because you were talking about sourcing and then like hearing your story. And I know there's like we can't talk on a linear timeline because it all changes at one point or another. But
exactly.
When you do it, and who knows what the future holds for you too, like because remember last year when this whole thing, how did you deal with sourcing in Germany? Was it about the same like we were dealing with it in the States when it came to like everything? Yeah.
Oh man, that was a terrible time because
tell us about your experience.
Okay, I started selling on Amazon 3 months before we went through our first lockdown. Like it wasn't at the height of the whole situation, but you can see that it was starting to go up there. And I like to say I was one of the last people to actually get into Amazon before they started to get backed up with paperwork and all them packages and things like that. So I got in right just before that. So I was able to get some products in there. But right after like they did a lockdown, and our first lockdown lasted for like 7 months. And they closed everything but grocery stores. And I'm a type of person like I don't like to look on the negative side or like look at the problems and say, oh, woe is me, I can't go get books anymore, or like I can't go to dollar stores.
But it's a challenge. It's an inherent challenge to the business.
Yeah. But I'm more like I was more of okay, I can't do this, but what can I do? And that's when I started to research other products that I could sell on Amazon. And I came to groceries because every other store was closed, but grocery stores. So I learned how to get ungated in groceries and like what groceries sold. And I just hit the ground running. And like throughout the whole lockdown, I was selling groceries. And then also I started to do more person-to-person sales, like going on Facebook Marketplace or like going on eBay and like picking up things and getting inventory that way.
Yes, sir. I love that about you, Louis. I will say, when I watch you, I mean, you'll tell like it is. You're pretty forthright and stuff. But there is this optimism about that I've seen you have. And like, for example, like if anybody doesn't know Louis down below, check his links on my channel today that he's on. Check, he's got his Instagram, and if there's anything else you want to add on there, let me know later on. We'll just adjust it and add a couple things. But right now, I put your YouTube and your Instagram, which I think if you go on your Instagram, you should have it all there on your link tree.
Yeah.
So you guys check out his Instagram. The reason I say is he has this really unique quote. He quotes himself because he's a deep thinker. He's a contemplator. That's why I'm gonna brag about you a little bit. Like you're a contemplative in my respect, because you do give things thought. Yes. I'm not going to say I always agree. I may want to debate it, but like I like the way you think. You kind of give it a little bit of, little sauce on it. Like you said something like self-discipline is the center of all success. I mean, you just don't say that. You got to think these things through. And I love that about you, bro. You know what I mean? It's like Luis and I talk about the stuff in private, like, what are we going to do? Like you said, always stay positive. Keep that optimism. You got to maintain your focus. Otherwise, either you fear and failure, or you can reap success and, get up and do it. So I love that quote. I appreciate you. You're a great part of this community before people even knew it, I think, because you were just there doing your thing. And here's a guy that, like, we're all, I don't know. Do you ever feel, can I ask you a personal question? Because we're talking... Because we're going into mindful merchants right now, like, and there's nothing, I'm not giving those trick questions. I ain't gonna drop kick you, but it's like, I love to be honest about this, because when we talk about being a mindful merchant, a merchant is what, and if you're gonna be mindful is being aware and be very conscious about this thing. I notice you're very conscious about what you write and what you think, and I notice you write books, you read a lot of books, and I love hearing when you articulate certain things, because you come across as pretty savvy, and people may not get it because it goes over their head, or you know what I mean. And so, like, right now, I'm rambling on here a little bit. I'm tripping myself up. But what was I going to ask you? So let's just jump into books. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You were going to ask me something very, very personal.
Oh yeah. Let me come back to it.
Actually, I had something to ask Louis.
Jump in, bro.
To touch back what you were talking about sourcing and stuff. Do they utilize Mercari or OfferUp out there where you're at?
We don't have that. We don't have Mercari. We don't have OfferUp. We don't have Poshmark. But what we do have is we have Facebook Market. No, we have. Wow. Okay, we don't have those platforms, but we have other platforms that are like it, but they're just not as big as like Mercari and Poshmark. But what I do use is I use Facebook Marketplace a lot to like in my video games and things like that, where I can go pick it up person to person. And then we have another. It's like a type of eBay, but it's not eBay, but it's more like Facebook Marketplace, and that's really big. And I use that also.
And by the way, I remembered my question. I just had a brain
fart. There's actually a question in the chat that Jen asked.
Okay, let's go to that. Hold on. Let me go down. Is it Miss Jen? Let's just say hi to a couple people. We did. I can't forget Miss Regina. Even if I said hi to her, I gotta still say hi to her again. Rezilla Review.
What's up, Rezilla?
I don't know who this punk is right here with the blue on, with that Dodger blue.
I don't know, man.
I'm tired of it. We're gonna put some Astro colors here. Is that the one you were talking about, Rezilla?
No, not that one. Actually, Jen had a question.
Okay. Hey, Jen.
And coming down. Miss Jen. There she is. Okay.
Hello,
question.
Jen.
Oh, we're talking about San Antonio, Jen. Okay.
Yes.
That's our homie. So this question is, Louis, what types of grocery items are your favorite? Best items to sell on Amazon? I love that question, because lately, if you guys haven't been following Louis, he's been like talking about the whole idea behind being a reseller as a food selling person, which is an Amazon kind of concept that, I mean, not that you can't and never could buy, but you can buy perishables, right, on Amazon?
Yes.
Like kind of what Jen, is that what Jen's kind of getting to?
I believe so. Okay, what are my favorite grocery items or best items? I don't like, one thing I do personally is I don't have favorite things to sell, because I try not to get attached to my inventory. Like I don't have like, when I first started, I wanted to like sell sneakers and do things like that, and I learned that I wasn't able to do that. So I feel personally, if I have favorite things to sell, that'll kind of pigeonhole me like things like that. But the best items that I like to sell on groceries on Amazon is candy is always going good, chocolate or like gummy type of candies,
Stuff that's
coffee.
not perishable either, too. You can
Exactly.
stash it.
Exactly. Things like that.
Okay.
Coffee is always good. Cereal
Nice.
is always good.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have like any specialty German items that like are, I mean, let alone crazy in Germany, like that sounds good, but like it goes overseas a lot, like stuff that's hard to get elsewhere. Do you have
I don't
anything like
sell
that?
overseas. I just sell it in Germany. I don't sell anywhere else.
Because you lock the door on that, or just it doesn't come in?
No, because when I started with Amazon, I was doing like a lot of books, and like most of the books are in German, so it doesn't really help me to like sell like in Spain or some other place like that. But just because of the language thing, so I don't really do it.
But bro, you know, in Europe too, there'd be some Germans out in Greece and shit. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
like
I
you
know.
know,
I just had
they're
somebody write
everywhere.
me yesterday asking me to send something to Mexico, but
global, baby. Gotta get that
maybe
global.
later.
Come on, gotta get that money. Because you know what, Greek money, Mexican money. I don't care if it's Australian money. Get that money. You know.
Right.
Let me go. Now that Jen opened the door on the food quiz, that's actually what I was going to go into a little bit too, and then I'll come back to that. It's not personal, but it is kind of like, so like we're talking about like if you're going to be a mindful merchant, know your mental strategies, but also know your mental well-being. Like you seem like you brought up something there. Like I love that you said I try not to get too attached, like kind of like that story you had with your kicks or whatever it is you're trying to sell, and then all of a sudden you can't get access to it or you don't, whatever the reason is.
Right.
Like that's a Buddhist concept. Like don't attach to anything.
I'm studying Buddhism.
We're gonna talk more. I love Buddhism. Well, which form? Like, do you like Zazen or you know? There's so many aspects.
Yeah. I'm actually just learning it, but I like the overall theory of it. And because like I don't want to say I'm soul searching, but I'm just like I like to question things, and I don't want to believe something just because somebody says that that's what I should believe. So I'm searching like a lot of different things, and I really like Buddhism.
Yeah, and with that, remember everybody too. Like we don't, you know, not to get into a religious talk, but Buddhism is actually technically, and I've talked to a lot of Buddhist monks and a lot of people that consider themselves Buddhist. They say Buddhism is not a religion; it is a belief system. Yes, and it's a very unique system that actually it can be adequate and very linear in terms of like how do you strategize your business. I've seen a lot of very smart Buddhist people because they're thinkers and they want to go, how do I get that money? That ain't gonna work. I don't got no more kicks here because I'm in Germany. You know, and you don't attach yourself to that idea. Okay, move on. And that's being positive. You know, it's like you can like, it's basically they call this changing the direction of the way you look at something instead of getting negative and getting down on it. You know, so that's a great thing to hear you talk about. So what do you do to kind of keep your mind and motivation? Always, you know, I'm not saying because, you know, being joyful or being happy or whatever, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, how do you keep that focus of just always keeping out of your head being in the negative? You know what I'm saying?
That is a very good question. I don't know if I have like some type of deep answer for it, but
sure. Yeah,
like I like to think a lot. So of course I would like, it's nice to say, oh, I'm always positive and I always think on the positive side, but there are those negative thoughts that come in there. But once those negative thoughts come, it may sound weird, but when I'm in my head, I yell at myself and say, that's not helping. That's not doing it. That doesn't get to that doesn't solve the problem. And I try, and like, I focus on being a problem solver instead of a problem finder. So when something happens, no matter how bad it is, I look at it as an opportunity to grow and to be able to like it's something for me to conquer. Like just with like the whole lockdown, I could have been like, oh God, now I can't sell on Amazon or now I can sell on eBay. But no, that just gave me an opportunity to figure out different ways to be able to get products to like sell those things. So I just really like to stay off the negative side.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's not that, and it's good to acknowledge it. But one of the key features of Buddhism is observation. You know, if you're constantly observing, you know, you can look at yourself and say, oh, that's just a thought. I'm not that thought. You know, that ain't me. So let's break that sucker down. Like you said, you could make it into a problem solving, you know, thing that later on will help with your business. Speaking of positivity, and I see her, she's a deep contemplator too.
I love her YouTube.
Back from burnout. She was a guest. I love her to death too. She's out of Australia. She is very organized. So part of that whole idea, like being a Buddhist and stuff, is being organized in your thoughts. Like meaning, can you, you know, find some quiet time, some downtime, you know? And go ahead. You were going to say something.
Oh no, I was just saying that back from burnout. I actually learned a lot from her YouTube, and I really like her YouTube a lot.
Welcome, and we're glad you're here. Let me just make sure that if I'm not missing Louis. Oh, here. What's this? I love that chocolate square bar. Ritter's.
That's a type of chocolate.
I think I've seen it when I was in Germany a long time ago. Is it like it's like their Hershey's or some stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going back here. Oh, Just Me Kathy who showed up. We got Mark Johnson, Zygon Tiger. Let me see here. Luis, did you have anything that's coming back in your mind? Because I'm going to jump into more questions.
Yeah, actually I do. Just besides the Amazon that you're doing right now on eBay, is there any other venture that you're planning to jump on or thinking about doing? Maybe not now, but maybe sometime down the line.
Yes. Oh, how much time do we have? I have a plan.
Half an hour.
I have a plan. Like, I can tell you what I plan to be doing 30 years from now. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I always feel that you should have a plan, and I like to plan out things. And I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, but I have things I want to do. But
goals are good, bro. That's what mental strategy is about. You got to keep those mental strategies. You got to be mindful about it. So, do you have a date? Do you have like an accountability board, like your bro Derek does, and a lot of other resellers? We try to, like, whether you keep it on a chart, on Excel, or however you chalkboard it or whatever. Do you have like a place that you can keep your thoughts down, your algorithms or whatever it is, you're trying to keep up with and stuff?
Yes. I have 3 different ways of doing it. I have my Google Calendar that I use day to day.
Love it. Me too. Yeah.
And then I have a notebook that I write in every day where I can do my plans and things, but that's really jumbled. That's just like straight from mind to paper. And then I wish I could show you guys. I have a wall here that has like 4 or 5 different for each important thing in my life. I have a different chart of how I'm going to get there, and I track every day of like.
Is it like a vision board a little bit, or no?
There's a vision board in the middle of it, but on that vision board, there's different things. Like there's like, oh, I want to get my motorcycle license, or oh, I want to lose weight, or oh, I want to make this amount of money on Amazon. And then each thing has how are you going to get there? Because it's cool to have a goal, but then you need like actual plans to actually get there.
Yes.
So that's what
I always talk about that. It's good to have goals, but if you don't have little aims to reach those mini goals, to like a weekly goal, to a monthly goal, to get to the annual goal. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's really important. And the reason I asked, Luis and I always like, what mental strategies, what mental things can we talk about, mental well-being? And that to me is part of being mental well-being, because like you start looking at this stuff like Derek talks about, you look at pay attention to your money, because if you don't, you're not going to be satisfied. You're going to be like challenged. You're going to be, and you're going to find that you don't got that motivation. And all of a sudden you start looking at this, you write down a nice quote. I like that you said you keep a journal. So that's more stream of conscious.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the calendar.
That's like a creative thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because I mean, I'm an artist also. The calendar is more of everything I have to do every single day to get to my goal. Then the notebook, that's just everything that comes out of my head. Like I'm like every Sunday I do what I call a brain dump. I just sit for like 30 minutes and I just write whatever comes out. It can be ideas, it can be feelings, it can be anything. And then the chart is just to keep me accountable of what I said that I'm going to do.
A little more structure, something you can look at and kind of just
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Do you do like on a weekly basis, or I mean like on the week calendar?
The chart I update every week. The notebook I do every day, and then the calendar I do every night.
Okay, that's good. So and that's the whole reason that our intentions for having a show called Mindful Merchants is so that it's recorded. This is like a documentation of not just our journey, but in our questions about these journeys. But we want to see folks like you that are just not I mean, you're, in a way, it's like, to me, this is a struggle, being a reseller, because you got to just stay on top of it all the time. And if you're not mindful, like being structured, being very disciplined, like you are, I'm going to, I'm not saying you ain't got your lazy days and stuff like that. You want to, we all do. But the thing is, you get back on track and you got people that you hang around the like-minded people you love. You want to be around, you want people that are going to lift you up, not people that are going to like go, I don't give a shit about you, And so that's good that you're doing that. And I didn't know that for sure. I kind of want to say I heard maybe, but you are an artist. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that, because I think it's part of the mental well-being is that we have to have things that we love, outside of, and I'm not saying everybody should be an artist or something like that, but have you heard of Julia Cameron, wrote The Artist Way? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would just say that you don't have to be an artist, but everybody has that outlet that they can do that like brings them joy or like peace.
Creativity,
Yep.
or you could be playing soccer and just like get that physical energy and be creative and just whatever, but be a writer, be a dancer, be a whatever, just do something. You got to, like you said, have that outlet. Have you heard of Julia Cameron's The Artist Way?
No. Is that a book?
Yeah, and you know what? It's so easy and readily available here. They mass produce it, but it's one that I would. What kind of artist are you, may I ask?
Since I was the age of 6, I always wanted to be a cartoonist, and I actually went to college to become a cartoonist. So I'm really focused into like drawing cartoons and things.
Wow. Okay. We did. I think maybe the first time we spoke, I think that kind of lightly came up. And I love that, don't ever give it up, even if it's your own doodles. My dad used to be a doodler. He would draw some crazy cartoons and stuff, and it's to me, that's another kind of stream of consciousness of, in a different, kind of creative venue. I think there's some sense of urgency. Something's popping out of you, and whether you're humming a song or whatever, that's great to hear. I'm glad to hear. But write down Julia Cameron, The Artist Way. All my artist friends on YouTube and Instagram. Emily Conway. I just recommended this. She as I was mentioning it to her, she ordered it within 5 minutes. And there is this part of this book in there, and I would recommend this to anybody that is a reseller, and it's meant for artists, but look at it for if you're a creative type, and even if you want to be a little more creative as a reseller, because then you could start thinking and seeing things in a different way. Meaning, don't be stagnant and pigeonhole yourself in doing one thing. But like she talks about one thing, she says, promise yourself every day for whatever time, I think like 10 minutes to 30 minutes, stream of conscious writing your journal. And her trick was you don't get to go back and read it.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I'm like, that's tricky. But the book is full of quotes and enthusiastic, kind of lift you ups and stuff. What do you miss about the U.S. about food? Like, I hate to ask you.
Okay.
I love that laugh. I love that laugh. That was so good.
Honestly, I know that they say you should hang out with people who don't have the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but you should hang out with people who maybe they have characteristics that you lack, so that you can kind of build those characteristics up, whether that's in business or like regular that. But I honestly miss I feel like I'm a unicorn here. Like I'm a black young guy with like tattoos and things like that. And where I live at, it's nothing but like older German farmers. So I miss having that type of where I can connect to somebody and I don't have to explain every single thing that I grew up with, and I don't have to explain when something's on the news why this is bad or why I have this feeling and things like that. So I kind of miss that connection of just having somebody who kind of has the same background as me. So I miss that.
It's not like you in the big city hanging around Heidi Klum who won't, tragically.
Exactly. Also, I miss the food. Like they have good food here.
What kind of food? Go ahead. Here it comes.
In Germany, like they have restaurants, but like I don't eat like a lot of fast food. But when I want it, and all we have here is Burger King and McDonald's, so we don't have anything else.
Oh no.
And then like I can get Five Guys if I drive like 2 hours, but like besides that, we don't really have anything else. And where I live in a very old part of Germany where it's still very like it's not religious, but they still live off of the religious rules. So like everything is closed on Sunday, everything closes at 8. There is
kind of like being in the Bible Belt here in
exactly.
Something like that. Okay.
Exactly. So honestly, I miss when I was in Michigan back in 2018. I literally like for like a week straight, I just woke up like at 1 o'clock in the morning and went to Walmart just to be able to like do that because I can't do that here.
Yeah. Were you able to do you get to come back to the States once in a blue moon, or do you make that a part of your?
The last time I was here was 2018, and that was for my mother. And since she died, I don't have like a lot of family, so I would have to have like a real big reason to be able to come back. I mean, I want to like my plan is to be able to like kind of live in both places, but that's kind of hard with like the kids still being young and things like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's and my condolences. Even though it's 2 years, that's hard because you kind of said it so eloquently, like being a unicorn, popping up. Yeah, and I know about German country. I was like in some place called Bad Hersfeld, and it was like, what the heck is this little town about, you know? And it's like you said, it's like you can stand out, and so you gotta find your little joys in places. Do you have places that you get to go that kind of like just soothes your mind, like getaway place, whether it's a park or just a store or something like that, or just, you know, what do you do?
I started running again 3 months ago when I was like, well, like at the beginning of the year where I was like, I'm going to lose all this quarantine weight and things like that. So I don't have like a special place I like to go, but I have different trails that I like to go. Like I have one that's in the woods, and that's really peaceful. Then I have another one that's like you run around a whole bunch of wine fields and things like that. So just places like that.
Are you near the Rhine River?
The Main River?
Rhine.
No. I'm next to the Main River.
Okay. You know about the Rhine, of course. Yeah, that's the big ass one that goes all the way. They have a lot of good wine and stuff. Yeah. Man, I got so many more questions. I mean, like, in talking about this food, I didn't mean to, you know, egg you on, but like, it's just
no problem at all.
You know, it's just like I'm trying to get in the mindset of a dude that is like, you know, I lived in Europe for almost a year, and I just remember it was hard at time, but at the time I was just so enamored because I got to move around. You know, I stood in northern Italy mostly, and so I got to go up to Munich. Are you in the Bavaria area, or where are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, okay. I am.
Well, they say München. I can't ever say it.
München.
Yeah, München. I love, man, that's crazy. The tourists there must drive you nuts, though.
I'm like 2 hours away from München, and I like all the big cities. I'm like an hour to 2 hours away. Like I literally live in like the backwoods where like there's just nothing but farmers, but like I'm like I can drive 30 minutes and go to like any major city, but I'm far enough away to where people just can't pop up to my house. Like you have to plan to come to my house.
Yep. I know that. Yeah, we know about that. Unless you got a car. Man alive. Yeah. So you sounds like you on the boonies.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Where do you go for vacation when you get the chance? And do you have time for that?
Yes, I do, but like for the past year and a half, we really haven't been able to do that. The last place I went to I've been to France twice. In Germany, like I've been to France, I've been to Italy, I've been to Spain, I've been all over Europe, but there's a lot of places in Germany that you can go. Like Garmisch is my favorite place to go in the winter. It's like really, because it's like really beautiful. They have a lot of mountains and you can go snowboarding there. And like I learned how to snowboard 4 years ago, so I try to go there every year. So I like Garmisch. Like it's just really peaceful, and like the air is just different. It's just different.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, the Alps there are just so beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy because people don't realize a lot of the Alps connect all the way back into Switzerland and all the way back to Austria. It's crazy.
They do. I actually want to go to Austria next.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch. I'll have to remember to tell you about some places to check out if you're interested.
Definitely.
Dude, there's just so many getaways. Louis, take over before I keep rambling. It's good to see Louis.
No, that's good though. That he's trying out different things to keep himself busy. Yeah, just try to live life, every day, where he's at, making the best of it,
Exactly.
With what he can work with and stuff. But yeah, my next question, what's gonna pull away from reselling? But my question is, so how did it all come together for you guys to start doing the cap?
Okay, I can tell you exactly how to start it. Real
quick, just give them in a nutshell what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a show on my YouTube channel called The No Cap Show. We do it bi-weekly. We just did it last Friday, I think. So we're gonna do it again in 2 weeks. And it's just me and 3 other resellers. It's me, myself, it's Julian 3Gen Hustle, it's Derek Fundamentals of Side Hustling, and it's Topher High Figo Resale. And we're just 4 guys that come onto the live, and it started talking about reselling and things like that, but we all have our own personal way that we see things. So it's quickly turned into talking about everything that everybody wants to talk about, but usually don't talk about on a platform. So we talk about religion, we talk about men and women relationships, we talk about politics, we talk about everything.
Whatever comes up on the board.
Exactly.
You're able to, that's good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the way it should be, but some people are sensitive. So how does that been working? This has been a few weeks y'all been doing this? 6, 7 weeks?
We've done it 6 episodes, so about 3 months because we do it bi-weekly. And it started because when I first did my live, Julian was one of the first guests that I had on, and me and Julian just hit it off like really, really good. Like we like our birthdays are like one day apart, and we're like the same age, and we have like the same, like it's different lifestyles, but they kind of go like on the same lane.
Julian is genuine. Like we had him on as our guest, and let me tell you what, like he was so humble. He was like grateful to be. I'm like, dude, you don't got to thank us. You know, we're just happy that you're here and part of this community. He's a cool guy. Like, and you know what? My comment out. I'm sorry I cut you off there, Louis.
No problem.
Him and I, we got a lot of the Brooklyn Queens thing going. You know what I mean? Like him and I, like, yeah, he's a good guy. But continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and then Derek, like me and Derek, like since like the minute that I got onto onto Instagram, he's always been an open book, and like I always admired his eBay hustle. So like
I would have kicked him off first show. That's it.
So I did that, and then Topher and Julian were always cool, and then Topher and Derek were always cool, and then I finally got to meet Topher, and he's a real cool, genuine guy. So I was just like, hey guys, let's just try this live thing and see how it goes. And
when you say meet him, you meant meet him online?
Yeah, online. Yeah, online. And then we were like we started like a chat, and like the type of things that we were talking about in the chat, I was like, yo, this would be good to like put on like our actual YouTube channel. So that's just how it came out.
Dude, you guys had this beautiful chemistry. It's no nonsense. It's not for the lighthearted, but you know what? Let whoever can't understand it move on to the next show, whatever works for them, you know?
Yeah, I want to say that because Paul says it too. Our show is not politically correct at all. It's just four guys talking about however they feel about something. We do try to not go too left with it or like too right with it, but if you are very easily offended, then this is not the show for you. We've had people.
But it is your perspective, and that's fair.
Exactly. But if you want a good time, then y'all should come like check it out. Oh, there he is, Derek.
What did he say? Let me go back down here. Here we go. I didn't see. Oh, there he is. He says at all. Yeah.
That we're not politically correct.
And even Miss Regina, who she's got a soft heart. She's wonderful.
Regina.
She's like wonderful. Yeah. Everybody just, you know what it is? If you haven't watched your content specifically, because you're our guest, I'm going to talk about it. Everybody can watch. Go check out Topher. Go check out Julian. Go check out Derek. Check out their stuff. And most of them, except for, I'm going to get Topher on here one day too. I've had everybody on here except for Topher right now. And he's been on our radar. I know he's busy, and I want to get acquainted with him a little more. But yeah, you know, we know that your no nonsense is just, hey, you know, this is who we are. Everybody's different on this YouTube thing. And what is great is the more everybody kind of crosses paths and this and that, you either get it or you don't. And it's like, it's great to get to know folks. You don't have to subscribe to anybody's point of view. It don't matter. You just got to appreciate and respect people, and then just help each other along the way. You know, that's what about being mindful is. So like, what projects do you have as you grow as a businessman, which you are? You're obviously, I want to say, you know, you're downright an entrepreneur, because tell us about your other things that you got going on, and what do you have that you want to see that will help other resellers coming up?
Oh wow. Okay.
Sorry.
I create content through my blogs. I have one blog about the Keto Diet, which that's a whole different thing. Okay. Then I have my other blog called LouisMoreTheThird.com, which is where I put all my, I don't want to say reselling tips, but just the different ways that I have learned to make money online and how people can make money online also, which includes Amazon, eBay, blogging, YouTube, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, all those type of things. And I try to write it. Yeah, I try to write it in a way that it's not like coming from a authority figure. It's just a person who has like done these things, and you can make money this way. It's like very simple, like simple language, and just showing people how to do it.
Because it's a good voice, because some people need that. You know, they need to hear on different. We say in my spiritual community, we say we got to hear on different levels. I mean, don't try to overtalk somebody, and don't be condescending. You know, and just speak. You know.
Exactly. And that's something that I really like pride myself on, that because the thing is, it's like when you want to learn something, you go to these gurus that have been doing it for so long that they forget what it was like when you first started, and they actually forget how to talk to people when they're first starting. So I try to balance that whole situation out.
You knew Shoe Bayer? I don't know Shoe Bayer. Hi, Shoe Bayer.
I've seen them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Shoe Bear.
I didn't know if you knew him or not, but that's good. I like that. And so you have a book, is that correct? You have a book?
Yeah, I have a book. It's called The Dollar Store Hustle, and it's just showing, it's an ebook, and it's showing people how you can go to the dollar store and actually make money selling dollar store products on Amazon. And it shows you how to set up Amazon, what products that I use, what products I source at the dollar store that makes money, and just pretty much how to sell it. It's like an A to Z on how to sell on Amazon.
Okay. Real quick, I got something that's kind of about that. So you have that. Is it specifically, what audience or demographic is it geared to, like English speaking people, or do you have that in Germany?
Definitely. It's for my, like, 99% of my audience is in America. Like, I'm in Germany, but I'm still an American, so I speak to the American thing. Like, I've had people tell me, oh, I should do it for Germans or make separate videos, but that's not the lane I'm trying to go down, because for different reasons. But
well, I mean, and with all due respect, you're not from
I'm not German. Exactly. There you go. I'm not German. I am.
Is that okay
American.
to say? I didn't mean to put words in your mouth, you know.
No. That I didn't want to say it that way, but it's the actual truth. I'm not German.
I ask.
No, I'm not German, and I feel if I was to do it on the German side, I would be kind of like pandering. Exactly. So I just, like, I'm a American. English comes like natural to me. It's my mother language. I like it. So it doesn't matter. Like, we live in a place now where it doesn't matter where you live at. Like, as long as you can do it, then do it.
There you go. I love that. You guys heard it here. This is Louis Moore III, ladies and gentlemen. Louis, we got about 10 more minutes left, but I want to ask you real quick regarding the book. We're going to move on to another question or subject or something. We're just kind of casually talk. But anybody who's rewatching this, if you're not familiar, this is our guest. It's Louis Moore III, and how can somebody who's rewatching this, that's a new reseller, that's interested in reselling, how can they find this book? And if you guys want it, he's got some links down below. So.
You can go to my Instagram and click on the bio in my Instagram link, and it's there. Or you can go to the dollarstorehustle.com, or you can go on my YouTube channel, and it's in all my descriptions there. Can I leave for like 1 minute, please?
Yes, do your thing. We're gonna say hi to everybody here. Yeah. All right, real quick. Let me go back, Luis. Tell me how far I see Shoe Bear. Welcome, Shoe Bear. Just in case. You see anybody I'm missing?
Shoe Bears came in, and Flippin' Sports Guy. The Flippin' Sports Guy came in. Maracay 7.
There we go. I got to go back up a little bit. What is this about? What are they talking about Chick-fil-A? Every time. I don't know what that's about.
Well, when they had their no cap the other day, it came up about Chick-fil-A and all that stuff. So
okay,
you would actually have to rewatch. You would have to rewatch it so you can kind of.
Well, I did watch it, but I'll be honest. I was guilty of just speeding up a little bit because I was trying to talk to my daughter on the phone while I was watching it. She's like, "What are you doing, Dad? You on YouTube?"
Can I explain the whole Chick-fil-A thing real quick?
Jump on it.
We have talked about sex. We have talked about women in male roles. We have talked about politics. We have talked about religion. And no topic has ever been as big as the fact of Topher saying he doesn't like Chick-fil-A. Like, we could talk about whatever we want to talk about, but when he said he doesn't like Chick-fil-A, everybody like damn near lost their minds with like that. So that's what we're talking about.
So when Topher comes on this show one day, hopefully he will. He'll accept our invitation. Can we hound his ass on about this thing about Chick-fil-A?
Of course. It's all in good fun. And I've never ate Chick-fil-A before either. So
I remember the first time I did, it was in a mall. That's when they were just, I think they started in malls, I want to say. This was back in the 80s or 90s. And all I remember was like, I pulled this green pickle out, and I was like, this is like a McDonald's pickle. Why are you putting a McDonald's pickle in it? And it was a nice breast of chicken, on lousy. I never got it. But, yeah, I'm surprised. Did y'all talk about the topic of, like, them not being open on Sunday, or did that ever come up?
We didn't even get that far. We just talked about the fact that, like, Topher didn't like it, and then the whole chat just
they lost it, man. They just lost it.
Okay, so Louis, you got okay. I'm going to touch on this. But you used to be called Sir Flips a lot. So if anybody remember, that's how I knew you. I was like, there's Flips. Yeah. I would in my head I call you. There's Flips a lot, And what made you want to go and say, let's do this. That's who I am. I'm Louis. You know.
Because I really started to get into YouTube, and I didn't want to, like, I noticed that I was starting to build like a little following, but it was just for reselling. And I feel that I have other, like, I do other things that I actually want to talk about on my YouTube channel, because I think that they would be beneficial to the actual reseller community and just anybody.
So far as their business structure, it's going to help mold your
exactly. It's more of a brand.
Your brand, I was gonna say. Yeah,
exactly. I'm able with like my, like, just using my regular name, and like I've studied other people that like I admire in the YouTube community and who just build brands, and they always use their real name. And I just figured that I want to be the brand, not exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I don't want to just be known as a reseller or just as a blogger. I want to be known for more than one thing. And just with the surf flips a lot, it kind of pigeonholed me into just reselling.
Okay. You kind of answered my question a little bit, you know, about that. I was going to get into that's a little personal, like you said, you know, you being there in Germany and, you know, being in a mindset that is a completely different demographic, but it also has had its history with America, as we know, you know, and, you know, and then vice versa. But have you had any issues, like you said, you being a unicorn, if you want to call it that, if you will, but like, have you ever had any, you know, altercations with like, you don't belong here kind of, you know, attitude or anything, you know? And it's like, well,
okay,
if I may ask.
Of course. I think there's two different types of racism. There's the one that's like right in your face, like, oh, you don't belong here. And then it's the overt one where people may think things or say, they may say one thing but mean something different. I've never had it like just in my face, like, oh, you don't belong here. Because slowly Germany is to like there's actually Black Germans now and like things like that. So it's not as bad as it was when 12 years ago. And I've never had it straight to my face, but I've like, people always make jokes about Americans, or this is like, they have their different things, but it's never been straight in my face.
So how do you deal with that? Like just I'm not talking about the race aspect, like just the cultural, like between one nation and another, you know, because when I was there, I'm going to give you a quick lowdown. When I was in Europe, I don't know how I got away with it, but people did not know that I was American. They always said, oh, you must be a Canadian. I'm like, why? Because you're so polite. You're not rude. You're not making all these, you know, frat boy kind of like coming in and like, you owe us everything, you know, here, you know, didn't even leave a tip, you know, kind of attitude. So
I know. I wouldn't even say I try to deal with like two different nations or like two, like it's just me personally. Like I'm always polite. I always say please. I always say thank you. I always acknowledge when somebody does something nice to me. I think, and honestly, I kind of get it. Like a lot of Germans, I don't want to speak for nobody else, but the friends that I have talked to, a lot of Germans don't have a problem with somebody from a different country or like nation coming. But the problem is that they come. Is that we come here and we don't learn the language, we don't learn the history of it. So I took it upon myself, like, because when I first got out, I was like, I'm not learning German. Everybody speaks English, but that caused a lot of problems in my life for the fact that I always had to depend on somebody else to like help me out or to read for me or to do paperwork. So really?
No, that's good. No, I'm liking what I'm hearing, because really it goes back to what you said. I'm a problem solver. You had to really deep think this, because like you said, it's not going to get you anywhere. And as far as your business, it's probably brought you in the trajectory of your business it's helped you tenfold, because now you get it. You got it. You've been there 12 years. You're acclimated. You know what I mean? And you're still an American. You're still Louis Moore.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you are who you are.
I mean, like, I feel like I realize, like, there's some people who come here and they give up their nationality, they give up all that, and then they take the German thing. I'll never do that, because first and foremost, I am an American. I'm proud of that. But just because I'm proud of that doesn't mean that I can't learn the language or learn the history or learn stuff. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and you also served there. By the way, thank you for your service. And you know, that was a big step too, because you know, and I get it on a different level, because like I said, my dad was the thing too. So
well, thank you for saying that.
No, you know, that's the least I can say, because people don't realize, just because you gave up a big portion of your life, you know, you're up, and for whatever reason you got to stay there, and you are still there, and I understand. You know, how are you doing with like the children and stuff? Like, you get to see them all the time, and like, because your children, are they in the same city, or how does that work?
They are an hour away. When we first got divorced, like, I mean, people been divorced before. They know how bad it can get and how certain people can use the kids as like a bargaining chip or as a punishment. So it was very hard at the beginning, but now I like to say that we're at a point to where I talk to my son every single day. I talk to my 2 daughters every other day because they're much younger and they go to bed sooner, and I pick them up every other week. So now it's at the place that it should be at. It took a while to get there, but now we're at a very good place.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, because I'll share something I don't talk a lot about because this is private but I'm in the same boat. Like, it's been almost, I don't know, about 15 years ago. Yeah. When I got my divorce, it was the same kind of thing. It takes you a little time to act. And so like when you're in that is important for any reseller that has trauma, tragedies, whatever, stresses. And I don't even want to call it that because they're just challenges in life. We just got to learn
life.
You move to Germany. Okay, I'm here. Let me figure this out. So you got your content creation, you've written books, you said you do a podcast too?
We don't do the podcast anymore.
Okay. But there was a blog. You still do the blog? Yeah,
I do 2 different blogs. Yes.
It is 2. Okay, I thought. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking there was 2, but I was like, maybe it's just 1.
No, it's 2. It's one about the keto diet, and then it's one about how to make money online, basically.
You want to talk about the keto diet a little bit, just real quick, in a nutshell?
I think everybody knows what the keto diet was. I know that once I got my divorce.
I mean, from your perspective, yeah.
How do I put that? When I got divorced, I lost like 100 pounds almost. I put on like 30 during the quarantine, but I lost 100 pounds, and I really got into the whole nutrition part of the weight loss. And I tried like every single diet before, but the keto diet was just one that I actually enjoyed the food, and I was able to stick onto it, and it helped me out so good. Like, I like sharing information, so I just figured out like what's the best way I can share information and actually monetize that information. And blogging just came up, and it's been doing pretty good now.
That's what I like to hear. That's another form of being in a business transaction. It's like, how do you make this work? And also, it's for you. It goes back to the mental well-being.
Yes.
Like, how can you as a reseller have another channel, another way to direct that energy? But at the same time, if you make a buck off of it, why not? Because like you said, you're being of service to somebody else that may need it. The wonderful thing, that could be another reseller. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So thank you so much for being here. We're cutting it over. We're probably going to lose Luis on the goodbyes here. And I know Luis has by the way, he did say Luis had to step out because he's got something going on. He had a contractor coming to the house.
The air conditioning guy.
That's it. It was AC guy. That's a code for he's got a secret deal going down. No, is there anything else that you want to bring up? That we know you got no cap, and you're still doing content from time to time. Are you doing occasional lives by yourself still?
I started doing a live every week. I did my second live last Friday. I have another live with coming this Friday with Resell Dojo. He's gonna be on
I love Resell Dojo. Yeah.
He's a very good dude. So
he's a sarcastic guy. You're gonna have fun with him.
I know. He's always in our no cap show. So, and like I talked to him, but behind the scenes also, and I really like his vibe. So we're gonna be doing that this Friday.
This Friday, you guys.
Yes.
Check him out. This is Louis Moore III. You guys, if you don't know him, like and subscribe to him. His information's down here at the bottom. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry if we didn't get to say hello to everybody, but Sarcastic Storage Stacker came in.
I like that name.
I want to say hi to a few other people, but thank you, everybody that was able to be here today. It was a joy talking to you, Louis. I know it's just kind of
for having me.
Questions. We've been looking forward to it. Hopefully there'll be room and time as we grow in the future that maybe I can have. Will be a hustle bustle. It'd be a hard thing. It's hard to get all 4 of you from no cap on here. That would
be awesome.
That would be buck wild.
That would be awesome.
Like, for example, like if Louis, he couldn't come on 1 week, I'm like, all right, Louis, you're gonna be my host.
I will be down for it.
And then we'll get those 3 guys in here and we'll cause a riot. But
I will be down for it.
Thank you so much. I know I want to be respectful of your time, and thank you for taking time out of your business because this is your time and everything you've been doing, man. If you guys want to learn and really figure it out from a different perspective and just understand it and find a different way to relate to a different reseller, watch this guy. His stuff is fire. He's got a lot of information. He's a deep thinker, what I call a contemplative. And there's so much to learn. If you think you know it, you know you got a lot to learn. Watch Lewis and all the information that he shared today. Louis,
Thank you for having me on.
No, bro. Anytime. You're always welcome here. Just know that.
I appreciate it.
No. And do you have any final words you want to leave us out with?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me on there. And like he said, if you guys want to, I don't want to like push too much stuff on here. So just go check out my Instagram. And if you like it, then follow it. And if you don't, hey, whatever.
Check it out, you guys. No, he's got it's really good stuff, you guys. And especially if you're a new reseller, you're thinking, hey, I like what he said. I want to start this reselling business. Check out his Instagram first. He'll have all the information there, and then jump back on YouTube and click that notification bell, and you'll find out more information. Here is my better half over here, my co-host, Luis. You're going to close us out. I'm just going to say this, and then I'll shut up. And then Lewis down below kind of gave his last little words. I'm just going to say, maintain your focus and elevate. Luis, lead us out, bro.
Yeah, man. Sorry, guys. I had to step away for a few minutes.
No problem.
Yeah, but definitely, you guys keep doing what you're doing. Keep listening. I want to thank Lewis for joining us today.
Thank you.
If you guys haven't checked out his channel, make sure you guys check it out. A lot of good information. And like I said, if you guys aren't watching the cap, definitely you guys stay posted and watch it. So I won't blab anymore. Don't forget tomorrow, Tuesday night auction on my channel.
Oh.
And and of course, Louie with the cowbell, he goes crazy there. So
got some fire shirts, yo. I got some fire shirts.
Yeah, come join us tomorrow night if you guys got.
All right, everybody, check out Lewis down below. Thank him in the chat before we go from the live. This has been the Mindful Merchants. We appreciate everybody being here. Take care. Have a good week.